Hola y bienvenidas a GCSE Spanish Practice. My name is Marina and today we're going to work on the speaking paper read aloud section with no questions for higher, which is worth 5 marks, but we will also do some translation, which is really good exercise for your reading paper. So, ¿qué vamos a hacer en este video? What are we going to do in this video? I'll describe the task. So what is the read aloud about? I'll go through the preparation process in your head when you're doing the preparation in the preparation room. And then I'll proceed to read aloud the text that I have here for you today. If you want to skip to this step, please do so, if you know how all of this works. And then finally, there'll be a translation into English, which is not part of this task, but is good for the translation in the reading paper. Okay, vamos. Bueno, so what is this about? It's the second task in your speaking exam after the role play. You will have time to prepare for this, but you are not allowed to write any notes on the paper provided. You can make some pronunciation mistakes. Some of them, minor ones, are tolerated for top marks. If you're thinking, well, I could do some video on Spanish pronunciation, please check the description box and check my video on that subject. But you are absolutely expected to use your knowledge of Spanish phonics. You are allowed to self-correct if you realize that you made a mistake. That's absolutely fine. And then you will read out loud your 5 sentences when your examiner says, lee el texto, read the text. After that, when you finish reading the text, there will be 4 questions for which you haven't prepared for. Now, this is the card. We read, we say, okay, so we have 6 sentences, not 5, sorry, higher. And then there will be 4 questions in Spanish to follow up on this topic. Okay, they're usually in the present tense. Right, so we got a card here. You can do 2 things now. You can pause the video. I'm going to go through the preparation in my head, but you can do yours and then see what I was thinking. And then I will read it out loud. So if you want to read it before I do, go ahead. Okay, right. So preparation. I am thinking in the preparation room. And I'll go through it a couple of times, okay? I'll read through. And then I'll think to myself, I can make notes on a separate piece of paper, which I don't think is very handy. But you have that possibility. And I will think to myself, okay, double L in Spanish is tricky. 2 vowels together, I must make sure it sounds IE. This sounds like when, and this is thi. And again, thi, okay? This one, I mustn't say gente. And then G-U-E is ge, not we. This is not v, is a B. And then again, C-I-A, like here, same sound. Okay, J is always V, I don't want to say serious. I'll make sure this is too much like English, so I'll make sure I say in the Spanish way. Again, C-I and Z sounds th. Right, do not pronounce the H. This sounds like double L. And then again, don't say the H. Finally, we have, okay, this one is que. We don't say que. V again, that's it. Again, Y is very sound heavy, this one. Tiene miedo, okay. We don't want to say privacidad or anything like that. We want to say free, and then this sounds like a V. Oh, wow, this is a tricky one. So it sounds K and H. Okay, okay, good. So I am done. I think I have identified the tricky parts, and then I am going to read it out loud, okay? So I get to the exam room, and then I do my role play, and then the examiner says, lee el texto, read the text. And I'll say, las estrellas tienen una gran influencia en la sociedad. La gente sigue sus vidas en las redes sociales. Algunos trabajan para dar visibilidad a problemas serios, como el racismo o la pobreza. Muchos hablan para ayudar a los niños sin hogar, mientras que otros famosos venden productos en línea. La mayor parte tiene miedo de perder su privacidad y se quejan del acoso de los periodistas. Okay? So remember, you can go back, you can pause after each of the sentences, try and repeat and check. It's also good. Okay, so when you listen, the more you listen, the better your pronunciation gets. Okay, so hopefully that was very similar to what I have just read out loud. And after this, you will get 4 questions from your teacher. You will not prepare for those in the preparation room. Sorry, you will have to think on the spot. But obviously, you are preparing really hard to get those. So that's it, really. And now we're going to go on to the translation into English that we will find in the reading paper. And that will be at the end of your paper. Is worth 10 marks. Translation is 5 sentences, but it doesn't matter. We're going to do this so that we can also revise some key vocabulary. All of the sentences are related to each other. Okay, so they have to, is on the subjects of celebrities, as we saw here, celebrity culture. Okay, and here we go. Las estrellas tienen una gran influencia en la sociedad. I will read through it many times in my reading paper, and then I'll break it down to make sure that I am translating everything correctly. I'll say, okay, so celebrities, or literally stars, celebrities have a great influence on society. That's what the first one says. And it continues. La gente sigue sus vidas en las redes sociales. La gente sigue sus vidas en las redes sociales. People follow their lives on social media. Algunos trabajan para dar visibilidad a problemas serios como el racismo o la pobreza. So some as in some celebrities, they work to promote or to give visibility to serious problems such as racism or poverty. Muchos hablan para ayudar a los niños sin hogar. Many of them, so many celebrities, speak up or speak to help homeless children. Okay? Advanced connective here. Mientras que otros famosos venden productos en línea. Whereas other famous people sell products online. And then finally, la mayor parte tiene miedo de perder su privacidad. So the majority is afraid, has fear, is afraid of losing their privacy y se quejan del acoso de los periodistas. Super tricky, this one. If you get this right, kudos. You're doing a really good job. It's more like A-level stuff. And they complain about the journalists harassing them or harassment, acoso. Okay? Bueno, this was very tricky. So if you got half of it, that's already really, really, really good. And if not, hopefully you learned some vocabulary that you can use. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching. For more GCSE Spanish practice, come back, like, share, subscribe. Adiós y gracias.